From Saturday morning slapstick to after-school drama, animated series have long been pigeonholed as just for kids. But every so often, a show arrives that refuses to play it safe, tackling identity, morality, and even grief with a surprising emotional depth. In this series, we'll explore 15 groundbreaking cartoons that push the boundaries of childhood TV, reshaping what it meant to grow up in front of the screen. Number 15. Gargoyles. The early 90s, Disney shocked audiences by introducing Gargoyles, a series that traded pastel optimism for nocturnal shadows. The show follows ancient stone guardians who awaken in modern New York City, wrestling with issues of loyalty, prejudice, and redemption. Unlike the fluff of Saturday morning cartoons, Gargoyles wove serialized arcs rich with Shakespearean echoes, political intrigue, and mythic depth. From the opening theme's haunting choir to the intricate watercolor backgrounds, the series established a tone of epic tragedy. Episodes like Reawakening plunged viewers into a post-colonial allegory. Stone warriors betrayed by their own king, struggling to find purpose in a world that fears them. The character of Goliath serves as the show's moral compass, torn between vengeance and mercy, his inner conflict echoing real-world debates on justice and forgiveness. On the corporate side, Disney executives were initially wary, concerned that a darker cartoon might alienate young audiences. But the gamble paid off. Merchandising lines sold plush gargoyle figures, and a fervent fan base formed online, debating the show's philosophical overtones. Gargoyles proved that a cartoon could tackle racism, betrayal, and existential dread without losing its ability to entertain, laying groundwork for every mature animated series that followed. Number 14. Batman, the animated series. When Batman, the animated series, premiered on Fox Kids, it did more than bring the caped crusader to the small screen. It reimagined animation's potential for sophisticated, noir-tinged storytelling. Warmed by Bruce Timm's bold, angular, dark deco art style and Kevin Conroy's gravelly voice, the show plunged Gotham City into a chiaroscuro world where every shadow hides a moral question. Far from simple good versus evil tales, episodes like Heart of Ice redefined empathy by reframing Mr. Freeze as a tragic figure driven by love and loss. The show's writers mined themes of redemption, obsession, and corporate greed, often blurring the line between hero and villain. Moreover, Batman TS introduced the character of Harley Quinn, whose complicated psyche and shifting alliances would go on to reshape the DC Comics universe and pop culture at large. Behind the scenes, the production team battled TV censors uncomfortable with implied violence and adult themes. Yet the creative team insisted on preserving the show's emotional impact, resulting in a series that garnered multiple Emmy Awards and continues to inspire filmmakers and animators. By proving that primetime caliber drama could thrive in animation, Batman, the animated series, paved the way for everything from Justice League to today's streaming exclusive animated dramas. Number 13. Ren and Stimpy. Though the original Ren and Stimpy already toyed with gross-out humor and subversive gags, its short-lived revival shattered expectations by targeting an explicit adult audience. Creator John Kricfalusi departed from Nickelodeon's family-friendly standards to deliver a version rife with surrealism, biting satire, and unapologetic vulgarity, yet without relying on outright profanity. Episodes like Naked Beach Frenzy and Ren Seeks Help took the show's penchant for slapstick into bizarre new territory, lampooning everything from celebrity culture to psychological therapy. The visuals grew more distorted and frantic, with character models stretching into grotesque caricatures. Though critics lambasted the series for pushing too far, cult fans embraced its anarchy, celebrating each boundary-pushing twist. Network executives remained divided. Some saw it as a bold artistic statement. Others labeled it irresponsible shock value. After just 8 episodes, Adult Party Cartoon was canceled, but its influence endures. Many modern adult-oriented cartoons cite its fearless approach to subject matter as inspiration. By demonstrating that animation could be as edgy and adult-centric as live-action comedy, Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon expanded the palette for what cartoons could and should do. Number 12. Avatar, The Last Airbender. At first glance, Avatar, The Last Airbender resembles an epic fantasy adventure, complete with elemental powers and ancient temples. But beneath its lush watercolors and martial arts, set pieces lies a nuanced exploration of imperialism, genocide, and cultural identity. As Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Zuko journey to end a century-long war, they confront moral dilemmas that resonate far beyond a children's show. The creators, Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, drew heavily on East Asian art, philosophy, and the history, forging a world where bending styles echo real fighting disciplines. Episodes like The Southern Raiders delve into themes of revenge versus forgiveness, as Katara grapples with a personal tragedy revisited in the wake of conflict. Zuko's redemption arc, spanning from tormented exile to reluctant hero, remains one of the most celebrated character studies in animated television. Critics lauded the series for balancing humor with gravity, while educators recommended its use in discussions around war ethics and cultural understanding. Though it aired on Nickelodeon, traditionally known for slapstick fare, Avatar attracted a broad audience, from children to adults, eager for a story that respected their intelligence. Its success spawned graphic novels, a sequel series, and a devoted global fandom, cementing its status as one of the most boundary-breaking animated series of its era. Number 11. Bojack Horseman. Though technically labeled a comedy, Bojack Horseman redefined animation's capacity for raw, emotional honesty. Centered on Bojack, a washed-up sitcom star struggling with addiction, depression, and self-sabotage, the series refuses to shy away from mental health issues and systemic failings. Set in a world where humans and anthropomorphic animals coexist, the show uses absurdist humor to explore very real pains. From its pilot's sharp satire of Hollywood vanity to season finale Free Churro, a monologue dissecting grief and regret, Bojack Horseman built its reputation on unflinching honesty. Episodes like Stupid Piece of Shit use surreal internal monologues to illustrate depression's cruel self-criticism, while The View from Halfway Down stages a harrowing dream sequence confronting mortality. The show's layered storytelling earned praise from psychologists for its empathetic portrayal of therapy and recovery. Netflix executives initially hesitated, unsure if audiences would embrace such heavy themes in animation. Yet the series became a cultural phenomenon, sparking conversations about representation, accountability, and the long-term impact of trauma. By melding comedy and tragedy, Bojack Horseman demonstrated that cartoons can offer some of the deepest character studies on television, blurring lines between genres and audience expectations. Number 10. Samurai Jack. From the moment a lone samurai prince hurtles through a time portal into a dystopian future, Samurai Jack makes it clear this is no ordinary cartoon. Created by Genndy Tartakovsky, the series juxtaposes minimalist visuals with operatic action, following the stoic warrior Jack on his quest to defeat the shape-shifting tyrant Aku and return to feudal Japan. What set Samurai Jack apart was its willingness to sacrifice dialogue for atmosphere. Entire episodes unfold in near silence, with Jack's journey rendered through sweeping landscapes, bold color palettes, and a soundtrack that shifts from mournful strings to thunderous percussion. Yet beneath the hypnotic style lies a surprisingly mature narrative. Episodes like Jack and the Three Blind Archers explore themes of perception and vulnerability, as Jack's arrogance literally blinds him, forcing a humbled reconnection with his senses. In episode 101 of the 2017 finale season, the show confronts mortality head-on. An aging, defeated Jack grapples with the weight of failure, PTSD-haunted dreams, and the possibility that his mission may be impossible. These late-season episodes earned critical praise for their raw emotional depth, earning Samurai Jack a place among the most courageous experiments in children's television. Behind the scenes, Tartakovsky and his team navigated network concerns over violence and pacing, Cartoon action sequences, Jack's samurai sword clashing against Aku's monstrous form, were choreographed with a level of dramatic tension more akin to live-action cinema than standard Saturday morning fare. Executives worried young viewers might be unsettled, but the creators insisted the visual storytelling was integral to Jack's mythic journey. The gamble paid off. Samurai Jack won multiple Emmy Awards, and its visual language influenced a new generation of animators seeking to expand the medium's expressive potential. By treating its young audience as capable of handling complex emotion and stylized violence, Samurai Jack redefined what a cartoon hero could be. Less a punchline dispenser, and more an archetype of perseverance against an indifferent universe. Its blend of artistry and mature themes paved the way for every animated saga that dares to treat its viewers like adults in small bodies. Number 9. Courage the Cowardly, Dog Inn. The middle of nowhere, Kansas, sits a lonely farmhouse where an anxious pink pup named Courage lives with elderly owners Muriel and Eustace. On its surface, Courage the Cowardly Dog embraces the classic Monster of the Week format. Yet, creator John R. Dilworth infused each episode with surreal horror, existential dread, and bizarre humor that unsettled as much as it entertained. Unlike typical cartoons that resolve conflict neatly, Courage often ends on ambiguous notes. In King Ramses' Curse, the ghostly pharaoh demands the return of a stolen slab, and despite Courage's heroic efforts, the family only narrowly escapes a fate worse than death, leaving viewers clutching their blankets. In Freaky Fred, a barber obsessed with shaving poises every haircut as a ticklish agony, turning a benign childhood ritual into a psychological thriller. These episodes toy with deeply rooted fears, abandonment, loss of control, the unknown lurking in familiar places, yet are delivered through vivid animation that blends kitschy Americana with grotesque design. From a production standpoint, Dilworth drew on classic horror motifs while anchoring the stories in everyday mundanity, a squeaky screen door creaking floorboard, or the whine of Courage's panic-stricken howl. This collision of the familiar with the uncanny made children question every rustle outside their window, while older viewers appreciated the show's subtle satire on small-town life and the absurdity of family dynamics. Network executives at Cartoon Network recognized the show's risks. Some feared the dark imagery would be too intense. Yet Courage garnered a dedicated following and multiple Annie Award nominations, demonstrating that audiences crave stories willing to explore genuine fear in a cartoon context. By embracing horror-inflected narratives and emotional complexity, Courage the Cowardly Dog pushed the boundaries of childhood TV, proving that cartoons could scare, surprise, and linger long after the credits rolled. Number 8. Invader Zim. When an overzealous extraterrestrial named Zim arrives on Earth under the guise of a Halloween costume, humanity braces for conquest, though the real threat lies in Zim's own incompetence. Created by Jonan Vasquez, Invader Zim subverts the typical alien invasion trope with a black comedy sensibility, gleefully blending sci-fi absurdity with social satire. Zim's schemes to capture human samples or steal the sun's energy routinely backfire in spectacularly grotesque ways. The show's art direction amplifies the chaos. Skewed perspectives, lurid color contrasts, and hyper-detailed close-ups of malfunctioning robots create a sense of manic energy. Episodes like Dark Harvest twist the innocent concept of Halloween trick-or-treating into a nightmarish odyssey, complete with pulsating jack-o'-lanterns and gravity-defying horrors. Meanwhile, Zim's hapless sidekick, GIR, an irreverent robot in a green dog suit, spouts non-sequiturs and devours snacks in ways that lampoon consumer culture. Beyond the zaniness, Invader Zim tackled themes of identity and belonging. Zim's desperate need for approval from his home planet parallels human insecurities, while the series asks whether blind ambition can ever triumph over self-sabotage. The show's dark humor appealed to older viewers. Some parents complained of night terrors, prompting Nickelodeon to limit reruns. Yet the controversy only fueled its cult status. Fans produced fan art, conventions panels, and online petitions demanding the show's return. Despite its early cancellation after 2 seasons, Invader Zim left an indelible mark on animation. By combining sci-fi parody, grotesque visuals, and sardonic humor, it showed that children's cartoons could embrace manic energy and off-kilter design without pandering to age. Its influence resonates in later boundary-pushing series that balance comedy with pointed social commentary. Number 7. Steven Universe. At first glance, Steven Universe appears as a pastel-hued adventure about a boy growing up with immortal alien warriors called the Crystal Gems. But beneath its gem-glittering veneer lies a sophisticated exploration of identity, empathy, and the complexities of relationships. Created by Rebecca Sugar, the series broke new ground by weaving themes of consent, mental health, and non-traditional family dynamics into its narrative tapestry. Steven's journey to understand his half-garnet, half-human heritage requires confronting past traumas, both personal and collective. In the acclaimed episode Mindful Education, characters process grief and anger through a musical metaphor, using dance and song to illustrate emotional regulation. Mr. Greg confronts boundary violations and the power of apology in a duet that balances heartache with hope. The show's serialized arcs allowed for Sandy hemorrhaging into therapy, like discussions, modeling vulnerability as strength. Behind the scenes, Sugar and her all-female leadership team pushed to include LGBTQ+ representation, resulting in the first same-sex relationship, wedding on U.S. children's TV. Gems fusing into new forms served as powerful allegories for personal growth and loving partnership, showing young audiences that identity can be fluid and beautiful. Executives initially balked at some creative choices, particularly the depictions of non-binary and queer relationships, but fan support and critical acclaim convinced the network to stand firm. By treating children's intelligence with respect and tackling real-world issues through an accessible sci-fi lens, Steven Universe redefined animated storytelling. Its legacy endures in the dozens of series that followed, determined to blend vibrant world-building with profound emotional honesty. Number 6. Adventure Time. When a boy named Finn and his shape-shifting dog Jake set out across the post-apocalyptic land of Ooo, viewers expected whimsical escapades, and they got so much more. Adventure Time, created by Pendleton Ward, mastered the art of layering surreal humor over profound philosophical questions, transforming a colorful Candyland aesthetic into a canvas for existential wonder. Episodes routinely detour from lighthearted quests to tease cosmic horror. The Ice King's madness hints at a fallen scientist's tragedy, while the Lich embodies ultimate nihilism. In Simon and Marcy, the series flashes back to the apocalypse's aftermath, revealing Finn's adoptive father and the Ice King bonding over sandwiches amid world-ending rubble. These tonal shifts, sudden, haunting, and delivered through deceptively simple animation, pressed viewers to grapple with memory, loss, and the enduring power of hope. Network executives were unsure children could process such emotional complexity. But as Adventure Time racked up Emmy Awards, Cartoon Network celebrated its success. The show's writers, many recruited from indie comics and experimental animation, infused episodes with poetic dialogue and open-ended finales that trusted audiences to ponder their own interpretations. By refusing to confine itself to one tone, Adventure Time demonstrated that cartoons could be at once playful and profound. Its legacy inspired a wave of animated series unafraid to bend genres, explore dark undercurrents, and trust that even the youngest viewers can appreciate ambiguity. Number 5. Gravity Falls. In the mysterious town of Gravity Falls, Oregon, twins Dipper and Mabel Pines spend a summer unraveling cryptic journals, battling shape-shifting gnomes, and confronting forgotten deities. Alex Hirsch's Gravity Falls married the nostalgic charm of 1980s adventure novels with serialized storytelling that gradually revealed a hidden conspiracy at the heart of the town. What began as lighthearted monster hunting evolved into a deeply emotional narrative about trust, betrayal, and the power of family bonds. Mid-season episodes like The Last Mabelcorn underscore themes of faith and friendship as Mabel searches for a unicorn's horn to defend her friends. In the finale, Weird Mageddon, the show embraces apocalyptic stakes with humor intact, yet balances it with poignant moments where the twins must accept change and say goodbye. Hirsch peppered the series with encoded messages, ciphers, and Easter eggs, encouraging fans to piece together clues between episodes. This interactive element sparked detective-style engagement, proving that children and teens could handle complex puzzle solving across a season-long arc. Despite network fears that long-term plotting would lose casual viewers, Gravity Falls became one of Disney Channel's most celebrated shows, earning Emmy Awards and a devoted fan base. By blending humor, heart, and mystery, Gravity Falls pushed the boundaries of childhood TV, teaching a generation that bravery comes not from defeating monsters, but from understanding the unknown within ourselves. Number 4. Roccos Modern Life. At first glance, Roccos Modern Life appears as a quirky slice-of-life cartoon about an Australian wallaby navigating suburban America. But creator Joe Murray injected razor-sharp satire into everyday absurdities, credit card debt, environmental pollution, and corporate greed, all filtered through Rocco's bemused perspective. Episodes like Trash-O Madness lampoon consumer culture as Rocco's garbage monster overwhelms him, a literal embodiment of society's disposable excess. In I Have No Son, the show addresses parent-child acceptance through the lens of a mother sheep who insists her daughter marry a ram, sparking a surreal gender roles commentary. Though the series never referenced adult content explicitly, its subtext resonated with older audiences, who appreciated the biting social critique beneath the slapstick. Network censors occasionally pushed back against innuendo. Mr. Big Head's get-rich-quick schemes were sometimes retooled to remove questionable language, but Rocco's Modern Life largely prevailed, earning praise for respecting its audience's maturity. The show's offbeat humor and willingness to lampoon real-world issues paved the way for future cartoons blending social satire with kid-friendly formats. By using anthropomorphic absurdity to hold a funhouse mirror up to modern life, Rocco's Modern Life proved that cartoons could be more than whimsical escapism. They could provide sharp commentary on the world we inhabit, all while keeping us laughing. Number 3, The Legend of Kora, the follow-up to Avatar, The Last Airbender. The Legend of Kora had big shoes to fill, and it did so by boldly tackling themes of political unrest, spiritual crisis, and identity. Set 70 years after the original, Kora's story unfolds in Republic City, a modern metropolis grappling with industrialization, social inequality, and rising radical movements. Kora's own journey, from brash bender to reflective leader, mirrors the city's growing pains. In The Voice in the Night, she confronts the moral dilemma of using her bending power to suppress dissent, sparking debates on civil liberties versus security. The series addresses generational trauma as past conflicts resurface and explores romantic identity in its groundbreaking finale, where Kora and her friend Asami embark on an ambiguous yet hopeful new chapter together. Initially, some network executives balked at the show's complex political allegories and the implication of a same-sex relationship between two female leads. However, strong creative direction and fan demand secured the narrative choices, making The Legend of Kora one of the first children's series to depict LGBT+ themes without euphemism. By situating its heroine at the crossroads of tradition and progress, The Legend of Kora expanded the boundaries of what animated children's series could address, demonstrating that young audiences can engage thoughtfully with questions of power, justice, and self-discovery. Number 2. Over the Garden Wall. In just 10 episodes, Over the Garden Wall delivered an autumnal fable steeped in folklore, whimsy, and creeping unease. Created by Patrick McHale, the miniseries follows brothers Wirt and Greg as they wander a mysterious forest called the Unknown, encountering peculiar townsfolk, haunted woods, and spectral visions. Visually inspired by early 20th century Americana, each frame evokes antique illustrations, sepia-toned, textured, and often surreal. Yet the tone oscillates between deadpan humor and unsettling fairy tale horror. In Songs of the Dark Lantern, a jovial church service morphs into seances and stopped clocks, reminding viewers that innocence can mask uncanny truths. By the finale, the brothers confront existential questions about life's purpose and the passage of time, all within a structure that feels like a living storybook. Though pitched to Cartoon Network as a departure from their typical lineup, executives greenlit the project after seeing McHale's evocative pilot. Critics praised the series for its thematic ambition, and families found the arc's brevity and depth a refreshing change from open-ended cartoons. Over the Garden Wall proved that children's animation could be as artfully crafted and philosophically rich as any adult drama, using folklore-infused storytelling to explore the shadows between dreams and reality. Number 1. Teen Titans blending superhero. Action with teen drama, Teen Titans recast DC Comics sidekick characters: Robin, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, as a found family wrestling with adolescence's trials. Under the guidance of producer Glenn Murakami, the show fused anime-inspired visuals with serialized story arcs, tackling themes of identity, trauma, and emotional regulation. In episodes like Haunted, Raven's inner darkness manifests as a literal doppelganger, forcing her teammates to confront her pain. Fear itself literalizes terraforming nightmares, exploring how unprocessed fear can endanger not only the individual, but the entire world. Meanwhile, compatibility mode, jokes, and sitcom-style banter humanize these superpowered teens, grounding cosmic stakes in relatable friendships. Cartoon Network initially envisioned standalone episodes, but the creative team argued for multi-episode sagas. Their insistence paid off when The Judas Contract, a 5-part storyline, delivered betrayal, sacrifice, and redemption on a scale rarely seen in youth-oriented animation. Executive fears of alienating casual viewers proved unfounded, as strong DVD sales and fan engagement demonstrated audiences' appetite for deeper narratives. By treating teenage struggles with the same gravity as galaxy-spanning threats, Teen Titans expanded the vocabulary of childhood TV, showing that even heroes in tights need to learn how to grow up. From warrior samurais to intergalactic invaders, these 15 series proved that animation could challenge expectations, tackle mature themes, and trust young viewers' capacity for nuance. They reshaped the landscape of childhood TV, inspiring generations of creators to dream bigger and dive deeper. If you enjoyed this exploration, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the cartoons that changed everything.